Lepore, shifting over now to the Senators.
Yeah.
Okay? And I said this off the top of the show. I still think they're going to finish dead last in the division. I love some of the offseason moves they've made, and I like the direction this team is heading in. But what are your assessments of the Senators so far? Living, of course, in Ottawa, Michael Lepore.
Like I said last week, behind enemy lines. The thing that jumped out to me about the Sens is you look at the guys in their lineup. You look at Tkachuk. You look at Shabbat. They brought in Stützle, who's incredible. Like, what a goal that was last night. But just watching their body language and the way they play, they love to play hockey. These guys are having an absolute blast out there every time they're on the ice. And I think that's something that's underappreciated in the modern NHL. And that's a good sign for the Sens and their fans, man. Just having these guys that have enthusiasm and just love to play. And you hear all the time about these guys in the NHL. A lot of them don't necessarily love hockey. They just happen to be really, really good at it. They've been playing since they're kids and they have athletic ability and they're sort of physical geniuses and they can put the puck in the top corner. And then there's the other kids who they just love the sport. And a lot of GMs and coaches who I've heard in interviews say that comes into play with the interviews at the draft. Like, some people kind of look past those interviews and don't really pay too much attention to them. But for some GMs and coaches, they're at the height of importance, because when they talk to these kids, they get a sense of how much they actually love the sport of hockey and how much they commit to it. Because with that too, I think it kind of goes hand in hand in the way of a commitment to winning. So like I see these guys in their enthusiasm on the ice. And again, it's in their body language. I think it's almost impossible to miss. Like Tkachuk, that kid on every play, like he's chirping, but then he's got the smile on his face. He's lively on the bench. When he loves to score, like that celebration he does. That tip was crazy, by the way. Like the guy on the call, I forget who did the call in that game, the color guy, but he was kind of criticizing Brody for not tying up Tkachuk's stick. I was like, nah, I don't know. That was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, that was an insane tip.
Yeah, I don't know what Brody was really supposed to do on that one. But I think it's a good signs for Sens fans. And with regard to those young kids and their enthusiasm and their jump and what appears to be a great commitment to being elite players, it's good sign. That's all fun and good and great. Yeah. What do you think about my hometown Sens?
No, and like you said, I think the first guy I thought about when you described your assessment of that team is Brady Tkachuk. Yeah. I mean, that dude is just everywhere.
Brady Tkachuk is exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs need.
Oh my God. He's throwing hits.
And it's easy to say that about a great player, but everyone knows what I mean by that.
Oh,
yeah.
He's just that's a dude that you would just absolutely love to have on your team. He's constantly chirping. He's constantly throwing his body around. He's getting in the corners. He's getting in front of the net. He's pissing people off. He's a good offensive player.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love everything about that kid. And then another kid who I'm slowly falling in love with is Tim Stützle.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. And I don't want to say that the LA Kings made a terrible mistake passing on him at number 2 with, they took Quinton Byfield.
Yeah,
but
the
based
early
on
signs, yeah.
what I've seen so far, just looking at them in the World Juniors and seeing how good Stützle is, over the first couple of games where, he's not even really playing that much, right? He's playing like 14, 15 minutes a night. This kid to me, and again, I don't want to jump the gun. He looks like he's going to be a very, very good NHL player for a long time.
I think there might be an argument by season's end that he should win first overall. Because again, he just turned 19. So, man, and again, like you mentioned the point about the World Juniors. I mentioned during that tournament, imagine he played for Canada. Imagine he was put into that lineup and given that type of support, the types of numbers he would have put up.
Oh, man.
Like he's playing for Germany.
He would have been the best player on Team Canada. There's
no question about it.
I heard a stat actually during the broadcast that of the 15 goals that Germany scored in the World Juniors, Tim Stützle was in on 14 of those goals.
Are you serious?
Something absurd like that, or sorry, that he was on the ice, I believe, for 14 of the goals. So not exactly, he wasn't on the score sheet for all those goals, but he was on the ice. And And just watching him play, and it's like you said, going back to just the enthusiasm, you could just tell he loves being out there, and he just wants to dominate.
Awesome.
And he looks so good. And just the way, like, he looks strong. And I think that just comes from playing, like, he's played with men, right? That's another thing that sometimes we forget about some of these guys coming over from Europe.
Yeah, German elite league, right?
Like, he's already played professional hockey with grown men. And I think it shows, because he's come in right away and he's contributed and he looks great. And that's a player that if I'm a Senators fan, man, giddy up.
That's a jersey I'm buying. Yeah, if I'm a Senators fan. I'm a jersey snob, by the way, everyone.
You have that guy in your top 6, you know, with some of the other talent they have with Brady Tkachuk and even guys like Josh Norris and Drake Batherson.
Yeah, Batherson's look good.
The American League last season.
Yeah, he's looked really good.
And then Thomas Chabot, who I think is incredible on the back end. And that's a nice team moving forward. So yeah, I think the Senators, you know, right now, no, I don't think they're really going to do anything this year in the North Division. Yeah, sure, maybe they're going to pull off some surprise wins, like, you know, the 5-3 win over Toronto, but
yeah,
I don't really see that team, you know, finishing higher than 6th or 7th in the division. So
yeah,
that's the way I look at it.